Hello and welcome to Ohio Hobbies. We have the Lucky Smiley, we have the Mad Face Quarter, and we have a box of nickels. Well, I guess we also have our Craftsman screwdriver, and somewhere around here we have the Consumers National Bank pen that makes all this happen. Now let's crack this thing open. We're hoping for some buffaloes. The second ever V-nickel would be nice. Some errors and varieties. Proofs. Foreigns. You name it. I'm looking for it. Let's see, at least it's circulated. We've confirmed that. We're gonna see if there's anything special. We have managed to find a couple buffalo enders, and it doesn't look like we're gonna have a buffalo ender on the top of this. So I am gonna get them out and get hunting, but we're ready to go. I'll bring you back for all the finds. 2 rolls in, and we do have our first find. It is a 1957, so our first 50s, and it is out of Denver. We're on the board. This one here, I found it is a 1970S. That was in our last roll. So we have our first estimate on the board and our first 50s. Nothing from the 40s or older yet, but we're going to keep looking. Well, 4th roll in, I just laid them out, and look what's peeking out there. Do believe it is a Canadian, and it is 1984. So we have our first Canadian of the box, and it is a 1984. I'll continue the hunt, and I'll keep bringing you back. Roll 5, and we are going to have our first 40s find. It was a 1946 out of Philly. Unfortunately, 1 year off of silver. Excuse me, 1 year off of silver. Hiccups got me right at the wrong time. Okay, so we now have a 40s, a 50s, a Canadian, and an estimate. Right on. Keep going. Roll 6, we have 2 more finds. We have a gunky green 57 Denver. So that makes our second 57. And we also have another Canadian. This time it's a 1995. And it's dinged up a little bit, but it's another foreign, and it's on the board. Keep going. Roll 7 is going to give us another 40s. We get a 1941 out of Philly, and it is a chocolate one. It is the brown color. So we now have a 41 on the board. The finds keep coming. Roll number 9. And let's see, we got a 58. We'll start with that one. And it is not a clue. Can't read it. I do believe that's going to be a Denver. Definitely damaged. But it does look like a D. So we're going to add a 58D to the board and another, I believe, Canadian. There it is, 1986. So 3 Canadians already on the board. And we're not even 1/5 of the way through the box. We are now 14 rolls in. And we have our first 30s nickel, a 1939. And we'll have a mint mark. Nope. 39, Philadelphia. Added to the collection. Very same roll. Produced another 1958. And this one is Denver. 4 50s, 2 40s, and a 30 so far. We're not even halfway in. Roll 16. And look what we found. That, my friends, looks to be silver. We have a Denver mint mark on a 1943. It's a shame it's a little beat up, but we have silver in the box. 1943 Denver. I'll take that any day. Well, and while we're here, look at this. I just seen this one. 1952 Denver. Alright, I will search the rest of this roll. See if we find anything else. But we have silver. And that 43D, look at that. It's got a home. We're going to add it to the collection. So far, we're missing 45D, 44S, 44D. We now have the 43D. We're missing a 42S, MP, and D. So there we go. We're adding one to the collection. That very same roll wasn't done yet. It wanted to also give us a 52 out of Denver. We're gonna add it there. And yes, for those actually paying attention, I realized both those 52s came out of the same roll. This roll is going to give us a 40s nickel, a 1948 out of Philly. Roll 19, we get a 56 out of Philly, and we get a 41. And I do believe that is San Francisco. That is San Francisco. So we will add it with the other, sorry about the view. We will add it with the other 41 and keep it in the mat. Next up, another roll, roll 20. And we get another 1941. This one is Philly. Roll 24. We got yet another 1941. This one out of Philly. And we have our fourth Canadian out of the box. 1998. There we go. 4. We have made it halfway through. And we get another 40s. 1947 out of Denver. And we're going to add another 58 out of Denver. This one with a large scratch across the front of it. Actually, might be the next. Oh, just a scratch. Out of Denver. All right. On with the hunt. Second half of the box. Here we go. Roll 28, and our find is going to be a 1954 out of Denver. So we now have that in the collection. We have roll 29, and we have 1948 out of Denver. That's our second 48. We now have a Philly and a Denver. Roll 31. We get a 40s and a 50s. We'll start with the 50s. It is a 1956 out of Denver. And our 40s is a 46. There's some damage there, but it looks like it's going to be out of Philadelphia. Yep. A little bit of damage right there where the mint mark would be if it was a Denver, but we're gonna add it right there to the stack. Roll 33 gives us a 1949 out of Philly. Roll 37, and we are gonna get another 50s 1952 out of Denver. Roll number 40. It's going to give us a 1959 to add to the collection out of Denver. That's our first 59 right there on the board. Roll 41 gives us a 1955, and it's out of Philly. I do believe the 55 had some doubling on it, but I checked this one and I did not see any doubling on the scope. So we will move the 52s over, move the 54 over, and slide the 55 in its place. And I figured I'd bring you in if I can get the, there it is. You can see it's a 1959 ender. 1959 as an ender, not a buffalo, but it is a find, and it is on the end. And that 59 ender is a D. And that D looks a little weird. Let's look at that under the scope. Nope, it's a D. This is roll 46. We are just about done with this box, but this box of nickels didn't want to disappoint. So as I lay these out, look what fell out. Get a little of the shine off. Unfortunately, as it lays, I didn't see a date on it. It's pretty worn. I don't see a date. I see just a hint of the Liberty around the edge. Now, the back's not near as bad. I do not see a mint mark. But it looks like we're going to have to nicodate this one. Let me get it under the scope. We'll try that real quick and see if we can't let me bring up the scope. Hang on. Well, we've spun it around. We've twisted it, turned it, flipped it. There is no date legible. So it's time for a little bit of nicodate. Let that sit for just a minute. That's it. It's time to clean it off and take a look. That is a 1913. See what it looks like. No, it doesn't show it on the scope. But there it is. 1913, out of Philly. Roll 48 gives us a 1951, and that is out of Philly. So we'll add somewhere here in the middle a spot for 51s. There we go. 2 more rolls left. Let's get on it. All right, that's the end of the box. It's time to get this recapped and get on to something new. No, we'll start out. We have 259s, 358s, 257s, 256s, 55, 54, 3 from 52, and a 51. Unfortunately, no 50Ds. We did get a 49, 2 48s, 47, 2 from 46. We have our silver, 43D. Which I do believe I checked earlier and went in my book. We have 4 1941s, and we did get 1 from the 30s, a 39. We have 4 Canadians. We did get 1 chocolate nickel to add to the collection. 1 2009 Denver. We have a 64. That, if you look at that mint mark, that thing sure looks double to me. But I'm pretty sure we have a double mint mark. So I did pull that one out. And in the first half of the box, we got 5 1970 S mints, but that was it. Then it cooled off and we quit getting them. That's the end of the hunt, except for the star of the show, the 1913 Buffalo. That one was near the end of the box, and it didn't want to skunk us for buffaloes, so it just threw one out on the board. And it was a 1913. We'll take it. I will add that to my collection, along with everything else. I will be flipping up the double mint mark, which I'm pretty sure is a repunch mint mark. It looks pretty good to me. And the rest will just go into the collection, except for the silver that's going to go in my book. Alright, thank you for watching. Give me a thumbs up, hit the subscribe, turn on that bell notification. Down in the description, you're going to find my email address and P.O. box if you wish to send anything my way. Below that, if you're willing, able, and have the means to help the channel out, I accept donations through my PayPal. Alright, once again, I want to thank you for watching, and as always, get your hobby on.